Today, I'd like to introduce you to what I consider probably the most epic game that's come out in the last several years. Welcome to Songs of Syx, my friends, a city-state simulator. What the hell is a city-state simulator? See, when you begin Songs of Syx, you are asked to pick a particular species of creature. Humans, Amoebians, Tilapis. The Tilapis are basically kind of dark elves, and Kryptonians. Kryptonians are kind of like orcs, but peaceful hippie orcs that like to eat a lot of vegetables and generally don't like to work much and don't really like to fight either. But we're going to pick them because they are kind of the easiest to start with. Now, when you begin, you can actually go ahead and select 5 different titles. We're just going to go ahead and grab whatever the heck is there, and you can select a random map seed. And this might be kind of reminding you, for instance, of RimWorld or something like that. And actually, there are a lot of similarities. Now, I will say that in my opinion, and I never thought I would say this, I think this is better than RimWorld. I really do. I think this is better than RimWorld. Now, not if you want specifically futuristic combat or weaponry, but this is incredible. And what you're going to do is you're going to look on this vast map. Now, you can generate a new map anytime you want, and sometimes you'll have to do that, because one thing that's going to be quite important is you're going to need water. You're going to need at least one of these resources, like these gems that can be worth a lot of money. This right here, for instance, would be an interesting starting location, but you also want fertility. If you guys look at that fertility there, it's 80% over here, and we have an auroch pasture bonus. Aurochs are basically cattle, for lack of a better word, and so you need to select where you want to begin, and depending where you start, a map is going to be generated, of course, with surrounding kingdoms and city-states, etc., and you're going to have to learn to get along with these states or go to war with them and conquer them. But guys, that takes a long time, because all you're starting with, this is what you start with, right? You start with a tiny little throne room, and I actually placed this throne room here. Now, you can look in the surrounding area for points of interest. You know, this area, for instance, doesn't really have that much in terms of value. There seems to be a little area where we could start a gem mine given some time, but we really don't have much here. You know, it's like just a tiny little room, nothing special. And if we go back here, it's not really imposing on the surrounding terrain. But the thing is, we can take this and we can turn it into this. And that's going to be a sprawling Metropolis, my friends. As you can see, this place is absolutely massive, and this is based off the exact same place that I had just shown you. Things have changed here, though. We've got cobblestone streets. We've got various different shrines to multiple gods. We've got areas to import and export trading materials, which is an extraordinarily important part of the game. And another really important part of the game is going to be the technological side. See, over here, we've got different tech that we can study, but to study these tech, we need intelligent people to be able to, of course, research all this stuff and get the information necessary. Now, once you get to this level, guys, this is where you can really start imposing your will. Those little red houses you see, those are all guard posts. And of course, the guards will be here. They'll be watching people. We've also got an area for hangings. That's right, hangings. But if we go up here, there is a judicial system in the actual city itself that we have created. I'm trying to see if we have any current prisoners. We do indeed. This guy here, who has currently been sentenced for vandalism to be imprisoned. And we do have a courthouse, so we do have that legal system. But for you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this and sentence the guy to be killed in the arena, which is something you could do, very Roman, if you ask me. There's something else you can do. I'm not going to say it, but yeah, you can do that too. So this game really allows you to, you know, carry out the judicial system however you would in your particular city. And of course, another element of this, which is really interesting, is the military element. If we look over here, I actually have an army that I have set up. You can edit these brigades. You can change the species that's going to be fighting, of course, and you can also change the weapons that they'll be using. These guys are using flanxes, massive two-handed blades to cleave foes in two. But of course, I need a lot more before I can call myself a true military master, or before I can go over here on the world map and really start messing around with people. And again, that kingdom of Thiroli is looking better and better and riper every day. But the reason that I say that this is better to me than RimWorld is I think the scope is much more massive. I think the political elements of it are much more complex. There is a class structure in the actual city that you have. The wealthy will live in these homes that I have constructed. I'm going to try to find one for you guys. Here we go. And as you can see, they'll even have servants. This is our university headmaster, Roberta Mar. She's a little dirty as well. And you can see that we have a detailed amount of information about her and her interests. But like, let's say, for instance, that we were to give the university headmaster role to one of the Gondorians, that's essentially dwarves. Well, they might start to like us a little bit more, and they might even, you know, consider asking more refugees to come to our town. And of course, that is added to our overall workforce over here. You can see a really detailed explanation of the workforce there too. You can see all of our little characters rolling around. I mean, to actually make an in-depth video on each and every race and species in Songs of Syx, I would have to do a totally different video. But for those of you that are probably asking yourselves, can I just make, you know, a city with just one species? Yeah, you can do that. It's got its own challenges, but that is absolutely a possibility. Of course, another element that is extraordinarily important to your people is going to be the food element. And we've got herb farms, we've got vegetable farms, fruit farms, grain farms, which can be turned into bread, auroch pastures, essentially cattle pastures, of course, and everything in between, guys. We've even got nurseries here where we can create new species, sort of a method of procreation, laboratories to study things, and of course just basic housing. The element of sewage is added to the city too. As you can see here, you've got a lavatory system, and this is actually an upgraded lavatory system. We had to pay a little bit extra using this fine marble over here, or this cut stone really, to get it built. But that's the thing, is over time, not only can you grow your city, but you can improve it. You can make it look better. You can improve the buildings. You can allow your people to purchase items to improve their homes. You can see here, we've even built basements for a lot of these different groups. There's so many elements to this game that are so deep that, like I said, I'd have to do an entirely separate video just to describe them. But suffice it to say, I haven't had this much fun with a game in a very, very long time. Now, loyalty is a huge factor. It's why I've got the guards everywhere. It's why I've got the prison system. It's why I've got those. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube will cut me down. But yeah, just a lot of different things to, of course, boost your potential for control. And I think we're actually going to go ahead and drop yet another little guard post. We could also build some scaffolds, and these scaffolds, of course, I didn't want to build scaffolds. I wanted to build hold on a second, stocks, but you could build scaffolds. We already have a set though, and these stocks is where some criminals will be taken, and they will be used as a form of entertainment to the masses. The masses will actually stop by, they'll watch the criminal, they'll jeer at him, throw tomatoes, etc., spit on him, and really there are just many ways to boost your judicial system. Now, that's not the end game. Like any good city-state, over time, you are going to need to expand. There's just no way around that. And I think next I'll be expanding into Thiroli, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you the immensity of the region you're going to be in. Now, of course, this is all randomly generated, but you could see all of these little city-states. Now, some of them, like for instance, these purple ones right here, are actually did I really just say that? Are actually part of a larger domain, right? And that larger domain, you're going to wait until you attack those. You probably want to take down these small kingdoms first, and then you can go for something a little bit higher up on the food chain, let's say. But like I said, guys, I can't explain this entire game in one episode. In fact, if you look up the tutorials for Songs of Syx, you are talking about literally thousands of hours of tutorials out there. Now, for specific players, I'm guessing probably 3 or 4 hours of tutorials would suffice, but this game is amazing. And I beg you, if you're interested in this sort of genre, or you just want to see more about the game, let me know in the comments down below. Whatever you want to find out about the game, if you want to see battles, if you want me to go through the different species, if you want me to discuss the political elements of the game and how you can have an extremely authoritarian system, or you can even have a democratic system, please do. That being said, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. If you got anything out of this video at all, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I really greatly appreciate it. Just right now, I'm going to give you guys a quick view here of the trade element of the game. And right now, what we're actually trying to get is stone. Believe it or not, we have taken all of the stone out of the area completely. We've mined it all. There's none left, and there's no mountains nearby, so we can't go that route either. So yes, just like real life, your decisions with your city-state can affect the surrounding environment. But that's okay, because once you destroy the surrounding environment over here and you cover it in a sprawling urban hellscape, you can move on to a new kingdom, take it over, destroy it, and continue your conquest. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave some information there about the game itself. The fighting pits are just a beautiful addition, and over time you can have a proper coliseum where your subjects will gather to watch fights, and I just love the ability to sentence criminals to death over there at the fighting pits. You can of course just send them straight to the gallows, but that doesn't seem nearly as fun. Thanks again, guys. Hope to catch you on the next one, and take care.